Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today we're going to take a look at the patch preview that we got, or the live stream preview, and let's just jump right into this. There's a couple things that are pretty cool, a couple things people were really pissed off on, so as usual, we've got a wonderful stream to talk about. So let's get into this. First off, there is a treasure box in your mail, and that mail is going to have 3 leaves and 300,000 gold, and the password is epic15 BELIAN, one of the two. Also, that's kind of a hint for what's coming here. Next up, we have Thieves Under the Light of the Full Moon. This is a rerun side story. I remember this being a pretty sweet side story. I did enjoy it. And also to mention, they are adding on a second part of this. They didn't clarify if it was coming at the same time or after, but we will get a continuation of this story, which is great. We also have the Happy Autumn buff and free unequip event. This is happening on the 16th after maintenance, so tomorrow, and goes until the 19th. So that's 3 days of buffs. Get your stuff going and get spamming. We then have the Full Moon value pack. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because it has a 5-star artifact selector on both of these. So I'm guessing the price is going to be $49.99 US and $79.99 US or $69. I'm not sure what it actually is, or maybe it's $99. I actually don't know because I have Canadian values, but for me it'll be like $79.99 and $139 for me is what I'm guessing these will be. 5-star artifact selector, some equipment charm sets, catalysts, reforged materials. So there's some good stuff in this, but I don't really like buying this much stuff unless it's just like summons. I like buying summons. I don't like buying all this other stuff. So I will be passing on these for sure. But you know what I won't be passing on? Huh? Was that okay? Yay! So, Ariza, look at my limited edition Atelier Ariza. It's so beautiful. I got this sent to me from the Nippon Ishi software website. People, they're so thighs. They're super amazing, and I can't believe they found this for me. It's really hard to show from the webcam, but I am unbelievably stoked for this. My favorite series, my Discord in the link description below, is also named after it. I cannot believe they found this for me. Super thank you for them. And also, I just want to mention that they are having a sale right now. I'll leave the link in the description below. Not really a sponsored video, but they sent it out, and might as well give them a shout out because that's awesome. They're having a sale with a bunch of stuff. Go check out their store. Love all their stuff. Always have, always will. Great people, great service, great everything there. So we also have the buff check-in event, leaves, bookmarks, equipment charms, and more. We also have the Arena League improvements. Basically, it's going to make it easier to stay in certain ranks. You're only going to drop 1 instead of 2 ranks from Challenger and below, which is helpful, you know, especially for people like me who just kind of AFK and forget a lot of times. It's really hard to climb back up once you forget to PvP for a week. We then have drop rates up for Tamarin with Idol's Cheer, a great new player character and a great veteran character too for expeditions and everything. Probably the new Abyss floors. I haven't done them yet, but I'm assuming she's going to be good there, and probably good for any future PvE content ever because she's just that insane. We then have Ken with Samsara Prayer Beads, not the best banner, I would say. We also have Tenebria with Crimson Moon of Nightmares, not the best banner. As a side note, I don't ever remember Araminta being on a banner. Does she ever get a banner? Did they forget she exists? But you know who they didn't forget exists? Luna. Luna got buffed recently, and this is a 10 out of 10 banner. I think Luna's fantastic. I also think Draco Plate is super fantastic as well right now. 2 really, really good banners with Tamarin and Luna. But wait, there's more. Landy and Wall of Orda coming out, just pile driving you with all these banners. All 3 of these coming up in September, I think. I don't remember where Tamarin's was, but Luna's and Landy's both in September. Definitely awesome, awesome, awesome. And next up, we have a video to watch. Are you ready? I always ask if you like watching the video or not, and y'all say yes, so we're gonna watch it together. As of this recording, they hadn't uploaded this to YouTube yet, so we're gonna watch this together.
Everything in Felicia is under my control. I won't waste my breath.
Do I look as cool as she did?
You are a vital part of this city's development.
Okay, so she looks amazing. And unfortunately, I'm not upset, by the way, but Chad was pretty pissed at her release. So we've got her stats here. She's got 821 attack. She's a knight, by the way, a light knight. 821 attack, no crit rate, no crit damage. So she's going to be a defensive unit for sure, or at least a disruptive unit because she's got that base effectiveness. Her self imprint is health percent as well, and she's got really high health and defense and speed for a knight especially. So you can kind of imagine she's going to be a tanky, disruptive, or preventative unit, and she will be a bit of both, mainly disruptive. We have Shackles of Suppression, which is her passive here, and it decreases the numbers of souls gained by the enemy by 100%, so they cannot gain souls. And at the start of the turn, has a 100% chance with buffs to grant a random buff to the caster for 1 turn. So New did say that this does not prevent tag ALs, so if somebody has tag ALs and fights into her, that they still have the tag AL souls. But tag AL says gains as well, so I'm kind of confused. I think this is something we won't know until she comes out, or maybe they'll clarify in the future. So no idea how that's going to work. I think if it counters tag ALs, she's going to be pretty solid. If it doesn't, it's like, what's the point, you know? The other kind of sad part I see with this skill is the random buff. Effectiveness and healing, both amazing, but for some reason they threw crit chance in here. Maybe she does damage, but if you're gonna do damage, you're gonna want the crit chance default, right? So why not give crit damage instead of crit chance as a buff? Or why not give effect resistance or something else as a buff? I really dislike the random buff. I don't like dislike the idea of a random buff, but the fact that it's crit chance is just so out of place, you know? Just does not make sense to me. The other two are great. So like 66% of the time, you're like, hey, this is cool. The other percent, you're like, wow, I crit 300 damage. Nice, I'm the best. We also have Light of Destruction here. This is a doozy. This is her skill 1, by the way. So attacks all enemies with a ray with a 50% chance. It goes up to 65% chance to dispel 1 buff. That's weird. It's usually 75%. But yeah, 65% chance to dispel a buff, and when used on her turn, has a 35% chance to activate Incursion as an extra attack. So proportionate to her HP as well. So basically, attacks once, has a 65% chance to dispel on each target, and then the Incursion also attacks, decreases speed and hit chance for 1 turn, and proportionate to max HP. People were asking if this had to, or if this could miss, and yes, it can miss. Anything that actually does damage or hits will be hit by misses, right? So as this is her skill 1, I feel like she's going to be fueling a lot of Violet and other counterattacks. But what she does is pretty fancy. And the other thing too is people were kind of upset at the 35% activation rate of Incursion. But the thing is, her soul burn is only 10 souls. It's actually a relatively low amount of souls. I wanted our music back. A relatively low amount of souls for that, so I think that's okay. And then we have her skill 3 here, which is... Sorry, I gotta scroll through this. Did I miss it? Apocalypse. Okay, so her skill 3 is underwhelming, actually. This is the one that kind of confused me. Her other skills are... I guess her skill 1 is fully loaded, and her skill 2 is kind of... does what it is, but her skill 3 is kind of interesting, right? It just does damage. It decreases combat readiness by 20 to 40%, which is interesting. Obviously, that's there to mess up turn order, right? Also provokes for 1 turn and buffs herself with defense. And of course, damage dealt proportionate to the caster's max HP. And the Mola is only -1, which is awesome. That saves some Mola. So that's her kit, and a lot of people are really confused by this, and I'm not sure what to think yet. I feel like she definitely has to be tested. Having Dispel on skill 1 with being able to hold Elbrus is pretty fantastic. Having Elbrus and having that 65% chance to Dispel, kind of like a built-in Ayala Violin. That seems pretty good. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. You know, she's interesting, and I will be pulling for her, and I think I have enough to get her, but she's not what I expected. One thing I've noticed in the past is I'm not really a big fan of anything that does one specific thing and that's it, because they just never really turn out, I find. Like, for example, Solitaria does one specific thing and that's it, you know, and you don't really see her used. Who else does one specific thing? There's a couple others that just do one thing, you know. Archdemon Mercedes, I guess she's still pretty good, but I don't like the limiting it does. Anyways, let's look at the stats here. We already looked at all of these. That's just her skills and the cute little picture of her. Her art is the best. When she goes like that with her hair, that's like my favorite thing. That kills me every time. The Mystic rotation is going to have Oxlots and Belian. And finally, the Coin Shop Hero rotation is going to have Blood Moon Haste and Little Queen Charlotte, Violet, and Lidica. I think if you don't have Violet, you probably should pick Violet up. He's pretty bonkers right now. Yeah, and that's it. There's not too much there. They forgot specialty changes existed again. Maybe one day we'll get them. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye, everybody.